All right, guys, we got a new bike for the channel to review and go ride in a little bit, and this bike is from ENGWE. Now, I'm pretty sure you guys know ENGWE very well. They sent us bikes in the past, like the EP2, the EP2 Pro, and then they also sent us the Engine Pro, and the Engine Pro bike was probably one of my favorite bikes from ENGWE. Now, they're doing a cafe racer style e-bike, and this is the first look because there's no videos on YouTube yet of this bike. And if you're gonna notice, as I've been talking already, you're gonna notice the biggest thing on this bike is we got dual battery setups right here. So this bike starts at $12.99 for a single battery, and if you want to get the secondary battery, you're looking at an extra $300, which puts this bike at about $15.99. That's not too bad. That's kind of in line with that YYG bike we had, but the YYG bike did not have the range that this bike is going to have. 26 amp hours to me, if you're going around town, is a lot. 13 amp hours is kind of on the low side, so my suggestion, if you guys are interested in this bike, I would probably opt to get the secondary battery, but we're just gonna go ride it. We'll see how it is as we're riding and see how fast our battery drains down. We do have a 750 watt hub motor in the back, which is a peak of 1,000 watts. We also have a dual headlight setup in the front. We also have suspension in the front. We also have suspension in the back. And we have a nice kind of raised seat right here. Even though the bike is a little bit cramped, I feel like it should have been a little bit longer, but I haven't done the riding test yet. I actually haven't even put a mile on this thing, but we're gonna have to see how that is. I don't wanna spend too much time in this garage, so let's bring you in here with the camera, go over this bike very, very quickly so then we can get on the road and go ride. If you guys don't wanna see all the information on it and you wanna go straight to the riding video, just skip through this video and find that. All right, so let's get into this. So now the bike has front and rear fenders, and they are both metal. I like that the back one covers most of the wheels, so you're not gonna have any problems with debris flying up at you whatsoever. The front wheel does not have any quick disconnect or anything like that, but it's still not gonna be hard to take the front wheel off. I would have liked to seen a quick disconnect in the front. Now you do have 160 millimeter rotors up front and in the back. You're also gonna have the logo to the bike right here. You're gonna have a logo on the seat. You're gonna have a logo on the battery right here. You're gonna have a logo on this battery right here. And then you're also gonna have this logo right here that says explore a new way. I was trying to take this off, but this is not a sticker. So you're not gonna be able to take that off. So it's gonna be on there. Now moving on to the front of the bike, one of the coolest things other than the dual battery setup is gonna be these headlights. You got two headlights on this thing and it looks super cool from the side and from the front. I'm not exactly sure if these are very bright. We'll turn the lights off in a second before we go ride and test it out and see. Moving on to the top right here, you're gonna notice your cable management, and it's not too bad. I'll give them a pass on it. It's pretty clean for the most part, other than this little section right here that we could probably put a zip tie on. The only thing I did not like about the cable management was these two headlights. They connect together on the harness, but the wires aren't even fully covered. So you see these like red and yellow and black wires, and I think that's not very clean. Plus the wires are very long. They should have been shorter. So you kind of have to just tuck them back in there and hide them as best as possible, but you're definitely gonna see them. So now we're sitting on the bike. This is how it's gonna look if you were to get this bike and sit on it for the first time. Now coming over to this side, you're gonna have some decent grips. They're not very good. If you do have some good gloves, then you know they're gonna feel okay, but I would probably replace these if this is gonna be your everyday bike. You do have a headlight button right here, so this is a dedicated button to turn it on and off. You also have a horn button right down here. You have your nice display right here. These are the same ones that come on the Zeus e-bikes. I'm not sure if this is color or black, but we'll see in a second. And then moving on to this side, you're gonna have your 7-speed Shimano. Most bikes are all coming with this, so if you have to go up hills and need to pedal for whatever reason, it's gonna feel nice and comfortable for you. Now looking at the front suspension, you do not have any type of preload adjustment. All you have is compression adjustment. So just keep that in mind if that's something you're worried about. I did notice that I'm 160 pounds and sitting on the bike, it does have a slight bit of sag when I sit on it, and having that preload adjustment right on this side would have been nice, but it doesn't have it. Moving on down here, you're gonna have your standard pedals and cranks. There's nothing crazy about them to talk about. They're pretty much just your standard typical e-bike pedal setup and all that. So they're gonna do what you need it to do. They should be perfectly fine for this bike. Moving on to the back over here, you're gonna see that we do have an adjustable kickstand. So you do have this little screw right there that you can adjust, prop up your bike however you want. If you want it to sit more at an angle like this, or you want it to sit more straight up, you can do that. So here is a look at the rear motor back here. It looks like this motor has passed inspection, so that's good. Moving around the back of the bike, you're gonna have a nice handle to move this bike, so you can put your hand in here, or you can have someone hold on to you just in case they run out of battery or something on their e-bike. And it might sound stupid, but it has happened to me in the past, and it's pretty nice to have it on there. You also have the brake light right down in here. You're also gonna have your controller and everything set up underneath the bike, if you guys can see that. The way to access that is by taking the seat off with the 4 bolts underneath, and then you can get to the controller. And then if I can get a shot of this, because it's really tucked up in there underneath the bike, this is a 750-pound rear shock. Moving on to this side of the bike, I wanted to show you the motor numbers real quick, so if you guys want to screenshot that or just see what numbers are on that rear hub motor. Coming out here, you're going to have your Shimano Journey derailleur with a nice, decently sized chain ring. It's not super big, but it should be okay with pedaling at about 25 miles an hour. So I think anything over that might feel like you're ghost pedaling. All right, so we need to get this bike turned on. It's like any other bike with a dual battery setup. It doesn't matter if you have one battery on or both of them on at the same time. You can really run them separately if you really want. It has a smart controller in there, so it doesn't even matter if this is fully charged and this is like almost dead. You can have them both on the exact same time. You're not gonna hurt anything on the bike. So to turn it on, you gotta flip both of these switches. Once you flip those, we should be good to turn this bike on and check out these lights. Real quick though, I wanted to notice that both of these have USB ports. So if you have anything that you need to charge, you know, like your phone, or you know, hook something up, whatever, even an external headlight, if you want to do another headlight, even though this does have some good headlights, you do have USB ports on both of these. All right, so it is pitch black in here, other than I have one little garage light at the top. And we're gonna turn this display on real quick. I noticed when you do hit the top of the display, the headlight comes on right away. Yeah, so they are both on, but those are just the bottom lights. So if I can bring you down here in the camera, you're gonna notice that, yeah, those are the only LEDs on the bottom. So we need to actually flip the high beam on. So let's get that on, hit this button. There we go. Oh God, okay, that's nice. That's actually nice. So let's check this out again. So it's very sensitive. I'm not even actually pushing the button. There you go. You guys can hear me actually hitting that button. There we go. That's actually very nice. And you can move those however you want. So you can see those two beams. They are a little crooked, but that is because the bike is on a stand right now, so it's a little sideways. So it should even out once we start riding. You also have the brake light right here, which actually this thing is bright. Let me hit the brakes. Oh yeah, cool. So it works with the brakes. So this is the left side I'm pushing. Let me try it with the right side. So, okay, cool. With both brake levers that you push, both activate the brake light in the rear. So that's super nice. All right, so there you have it. I think those headlights and brake lights are super awesome on this bike, and I feel like this bike has a lot of range to give. And let's go put on our gear and get out there and go. All right, so we are on the bike now. We switched over to the GoPro, and so far so good. First impressions, they're not too bad. The big fat tires on this bike, they feel nice and comfortable, feels nice and smooth. I have them aired up to 17 PSI. They go up to 20. That's what the maximum says on the tire. And it feels pretty good. It handles pretty good. Not too bad turning. It does say we're doing 26 miles an hour. So yeah, we're not doing 28 or 30 miles an hour like most of these e-bikes that have a 750 watt motor. And the reason why I'm doing the test right now is because I wanted to see what our top speed was with a full battery charge with both batteries connected, by the way. Just keep that in mind. And even pedaling, I'll pedal right now and show you guys. And it's not changed anything. We're still doing 25 miles per hour. And what I want to do is I want to see if that's actually accurate. So I'm going to get my phone. I'm going to record the GPS and I'll pull it back out of my pocket and we'll see if that top speed is right. All right, so let's see what it says. 25.3 miles per hour. So, okay, the display is actually spot on accurate. So when we're doing 25 miles per hour, we're doing 25 miles an hour. So, okay, not too bad. Now, I will say that the twist throttle on this thing is actually nice and comfortable. There is an issue with mine, though. It gets stuck. I did contact the company. They were going to send me out a replacement part. But by the time I was going to do this review and other e-bikes, I'm just going to deal with it. But yours shouldn't come with a messed up throttle like mine. But anyways, if you guys know my channel, you guys are going to know that right in this section, we always do a 0 to 25, 0 to 28, 0 to 35. Whatever bike we have, we're going to see what the top speed is with only using throttle. So let's go 1, 2, 3, hit it. No pedaling whatsoever. 10, 15, 20, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. There we go. All right. So about the average time that most bikes reach top speed in that little stretch that I normally do. Now this is where we do the pedaling test, 0 to 25 or 26, whatever this bike is going to give us. Pedals only, no throttle whatsoever, and we do have a 7-speed, which I should have started in a lower one. So let me get it down to gear number 1, and then I'll go up. Hold on. Okay, so we are in gear number 1, and let's try out these pedals. No throttle. 1, 2, 3, go. Oh, okay, so there's a little bit of a delay. As we test this out, we can also test out the shifter. The gear shift perfectly fine. I felt like a little jolt from 1 to 2, but all the other ones feel pretty nice. I am ghost pedaling ever so slightly. I have a little bit of resistance on how fast I'm going right now, but that's not too bad. And we're doing 26 miles per hour. It feels just as nice to pedal on this bike than it does to use the throttle. So either one that you're comfortable with or you want to use, they both feel pretty good. Keep in mind that the pedals do have a little bit of a delay on it, so it's not the fastest. So maybe you guys can hear this right now. So I'll let off. You guys ready? Pedal. Oh, wow, that took like 4 seconds that time. Hold on, let's try that one more time. So I'm gonna let off, not holding the brakes. Let's start pedaling. Oh, wow. That's like a 4-second delay, like 3 or 4 seconds. That felt like forever. Oh my God. Yeah, so I mean, if you need to get out of the way or you need to hurry up really quick, stick to the throttle first. And then if you're just kind of cruising by, then, you know, start pedaling. But do not think the pedals are gonna get you out of any type of situation. Like if you're crossing the street trying to beat traffic, I would highly suggest not using the pedals because that's a very, very big delay. Cool. All right, so now that we're done with that, in this part of the video, I normally take it up this little incline. Let's take it off-roading. Let's see how it is. We have the compression over here, no preload again. We'll see how it is off-road, and then we'll try the braking test shortly after that. So let's go. See how it gets up this. Mode number 5, baby. Ooh, you can hear the motor struggling. It still went up it, no problem. This is actually not that bad. I know I probably say that on a lot of my videos when I'm riding these bikes, like, oh, it's not too bad. This is actually better than most. Let's see how it is to come up this stuff. Oh my God. Oh man. Oh, that was fun. Can we go up it again with really no speed? Whoa, whoa, that's fun. That's hella fun. It did it no problem. Oh man, e-bikes are fun. So let me try adjusting this compression. Let's go kind of on the rougher side. So now it's maxed. So I'm assuming that the front's not gonna move as much. Let's see how it feels with that adjusted. Oh yeah, that definitely made a big difference on how bad it is now. Hold on, we gotta go back. All right, let's turn it all the way back to softs because I want the softest suspension now that we're off-roading. Yeah, this isn't too bad now. There we go. If I had to give this bike a rating off-road, I would probably say it's like a solid like 8.5 out of 10. It's not bad. And the seat is nice and flat for the most part. It doesn't feel uncomfortable, but it doesn't feel that squishy to me. It just kind of feels like completely flat. And I wish it was a little bit longer because I feel ever so slightly like this bike is very short. Hey, it went for me. I didn't know it was gonna go for me. Sorry, car. Sorry. It turned red for them just for me to turn, my bad. All right, so let's see how it is going from a curb to the street, full throttle. Whoa, my butt came off the seat. So my butt came off the seat, but I still felt comfortable on this bike, even though that happened. So, all right, so now we're gonna try the braking test. And I also have my GPS recording right now, so we're gonna see what our top speed is as well. So we're gonna go off this little slab in the middle of the road on this trail. 1, 2, 3, go. All right, so the brakes locked up a little bit, not too much. You can see where they locked up. That's not bad. We're only like maybe 3.5 to 4 bikes from where we stopped. Not too bad, but I want to be careful on sliding your tires when you have tires like this. Let me see where we slid at. Oh, I don't even see the mark on the tires, so that's good. Most e-bikes in this price range for these tires, they normally get a huge bald spot if they're very cheap. And we didn't get that on this. Like, yeah, we did go down a little bit. I think it's right here. Well, it's not too bad. So let me check my phone since we've been recording this speed the whole entire time. And 26.9 miles per hour, if you guys can see that. So, okay, so 27 miles per hour on this bike. I'll give it that. That's not too bad. It's not the fastest bike, but we still gained an extra 2 miles per hour since the last test. So it must have just been the road that we were on. All right, so the next thing I want to test out is how responsive is the throttle. We've already done the pedals, but we haven't done the throttle yet. So 1, 2, 3, go. Okay, like a second delay. All right, again, 1, 2, 3, go. I'll do this one more time and I'll tell you when the motor comes on. Full throttle, motor's on. Full throttle, motor's on. So it has about a second delay. Just keep that in mind, but that's definitely better than the pedals having that 3 to 4 second delay. So I would probably rely on the throttle. All right, let's jump off-roading. Woo! Hey, yeah. We didn't slip out like the other bike we had because we actually have tires that can go on street and on dirt. These are actually more knobbier than most of these e-bikes that we get. So it's not too bad. It's very good off-roading. I don't feel like I'm going to slip anywhere. Ah! We just hit a bunch of bees. I feel like I have a bee on me somewhere. Let's see how it is to go off a curb. Oh, that's not bad. Oh, yeah. The bike's decently light. Oh, yeah. That's not bad at all. With the bike weighing about 76 pounds and it has a rider limit of about 264 pounds, this bike's not bad. The only thing I would be worried about on this bike is getting a flat because these tires aren't very thick. So something I highly recommend if this is a bike that you're looking at, you want the dual battery setup and all that kind of stuff, think about getting some liners or at least putting a bunch of slime in these tubes or getting heavier duty tubes or different tires. Let's see how it is to turn. Go, bike, go. Woo, yeah. It's not bad, guys. Not bad at all. Other than like the short wheelbase I feel like this bike has, it's not a bad bike to ride around. All right, so far, guys, we've went 6.8 miles. And this is the full miles that I have on the bike since I charged the batteries. I know you guys might have seen on the display that we had 1 mile on the bike before we started doing this review. And that's just because I took it up and down my block. But that was with the batteries starting at a full fresh charge. So this is 100% accurate. So now 6.9 miles. So let's just say 7 miles on this bike so far. And we haven't went down a single battery bar. And that's just because we have the dual battery setup. Now, I feel like if you had the single battery setup, we would have probably already lost, I think, 2 battery bars if we had the 13 amp hour. And someone's jack is just chilling in the street. All right, let's go. All right, so the next thing I want to try out that we haven't even tested yet is the horn. We got this nice little button right here underneath the dedicated headlight button, which we're not going to be using the headlight button because it's not nighttime. So let's try out the horn button. Let's see if this AT&T guy hears me. Can you hear me? He's looking at me. Did he hear that? Wait, can I even hear that? Can you guys hear that? I can't hear the horn. I think the reason why we can't hear the horn is, okay, so when I hooked up this battery to the bike, I didn't get it in the dual battery setup, so I had to do it myself. And the horn is underneath the seat. So there's nowhere for the sound to go. And that's absolutely horrible. I can't hear a single thing from that horn. So I'm gonna say that there's no point in having a horn on this bike if it's not even gonna make any noise. Man, that's bad. Just again to show you. It is what it is. Honestly, like, I'd rather have that over one of those stupid bells that you like ding on the handlebars that take up space. I hate those. But okay, hey, we got an update really quick. All right, so 7.8 miles. We're probably gonna jump up to 8 miles real quick, but we went down 1 battery bar for 8 miles. We're not doing a range test on this video. I will take it to work one of these days, so subscribe to the channel if you guys wanna see the second part of this video when we do this. But right now, since we already pretty much did a lot of stuff on this bike, I'm gonna go back to the house and give you my final thoughts on it. So I'll see you there in a sec. Oh my God, big dog, don't come after me, please. Ooh, more off-roading. I just wanted to come see these burned down trucks. If you guys didn't see my Zeus video when we passed by these, holy crap, man. Someone had to set these on fire. All right, I'm getting sidetracked. Back to the house. All right, so we're back in the garage, and the final conclusion on this bike is, I think it's pretty awesome for what it is for the price. I would not suggest getting it with a single battery just because you're not gonna get very far on this bike. But I would say if you're just gonna go to the grocery store, or maybe your work's only 5, maybe 6 miles away, and then you're just gonna come straight back, you're probably gonna be just pushing it, because I feel like you would probably get about, I don't know, 15 miles of range on this bike if you had the single battery, and with the dual battery setup, I think you're gonna be getting about like 30 miles of range. But from our test, we did 8 miles until one single battery bar went down. That's technically telling us that we would get 40 miles of range. But once you start getting closer to that cutoff, it might cut off sooner than later. So I would highly suggest 30 to 35 miles of range on this bike is probably doable if you use throttle only. And then you could probably double that if you go into the lowest assist for pedaling and you pedal the whole entire time. You're probably only gonna be doing like 7 or 8 miles per hour. But great bike overall. I think it's a winner in my book. ENGWE always really comes out with nice bikes and all that stuff. It feels like it needs to be a little bit longer to me. I would have liked to seen the seat come a little bit farther out so you can scoot back a little farther. But I do like that it does have like a handle so you can pick up this bike. And if you guys want to see how I look on it, because I am 5'9", 5'10", I can completely put my feet on the ground. If you guys can see my feet, like I'm sitting, my knees are almost slightly bent. So it's a very nice, comfortable bike for people to be on that are probably like 5 foot. If you are probably over like 6'2" or 6'1", I wouldn't suggest this bike because the way this feels to me, there's not much reach, and I feel like I don't know, I want to like scoot back. I want to be like more up this way. So if you're tall, it might be a problem for you. But yeah, that's pretty much how I feel about the bike, and I hope that you guys liked it because it took me a while because I had to hook this battery up and take the bike apart and then obviously put it together and all that kind of stuff. And the headlights are a little bit of a pain in the ass, I guess, to put together. But it's a winner in my book. You guys can use the coupon codes down below, links in the description, all that kind of stuff. And we'll see you in the next one. We take this bike to work, and we'll definitely see how these headlights and everything perform. See you guys in the next one. Peace out, guys.